Right.
The people that are like, what is wrong with me?
Yes. Oh my God. Can I tell you how many times before pre-Katie, PK, I was self-proclaimed running around saying, who am I? Like just as a joke.
Yeah.
But actually,
That's what you felt.
that's what I felt. I have no idea who I am.
Hello and welcome to our first episode of our podcast, The Hive Mind. I'm Katie Speart. I'm the director and founder of The Hive. And we're doing something magical in this episode. It is the most raw and honest conversation, and I hope you'll join us for it, where Angela and I talk about all the things, right? Connection and trauma and how your past influences your future, right? And how you are in control of pausing and rewriting the path forwards. Whew. So we're going to take a deep breath into that. We laughed, we cried, we had technical difficulties. So I hope that you will join us in the future of our podcast. This is new for us. And like anything that's new, it's going to be messy. And like the work that we do, it's going to be messy, right? So I'm going to grab Angela. We're going to pull her on in here and we're going to have a great conversation. I hope you enjoy it. Why are we doing this? What the heck?
Yeah, exactly. What is this for you? What is the whole premise behind the podcast?
The Hive Mind. Welcome to the Hive Mind. You're jumping in here with us because that's all we know is the Hive Mind,
yes,
right?
Yes, we do.
So, I mean, we've been talking, the collective we, so many people go into that we've been talking a long time about how we get this information out to people. How do we bottle up what we know to be true, which is what we've built in this Hive Mind, right? It's the story behind it. And a lot of that is from working the last, it'll be 10 years that I've been doing this work with this organization in December. So I spent so many years walking with people through trauma. And in the beginning, not knowing what it was, not being able to put that language behind it. I see the way that I've grown up in this field. And I've been with these families as they've gone through their worst day, right? So often do I meet people on their worst day,
yes.
right? I'm sitting in the courtroom and
yeah.
the judge hammers, the gavel hits the table, right? And I've also seen people on graduation days and wedding days and birthdays and funerals and like all the things that I've experienced with families, which I think gives us the most authentic look at what is in the mind of somebody. Anybody.
Yeah.
Really.
And it's like a found family, a hive, if you will. Like the hive is kind of the found family.
Yeah.
Or as you said, when we were in Jessup.
The village.
Yeah.
We're the village. That's the easiest way to look at the hive. We are the village with the people that walk alongside you when you maybe don't have anybody else.
Yeah.
And here's the thing we've learned through that is that trauma is in everything we do. It's funny, I've been thinking a lot lately. When I started out, I was a college student. I was a freshman in college. And I got a psych degree because I took a psych class in high school. That's it. That's the grand reveal of why I was a psych major. I was interested in it. It was the only thing that really sparked my interest. But I really thought I was going to go down the path of criminal psychology. And it's funny now to see where I am working and coaching inside of correctional facilities and with justice-impacted people. And what I notice now is it's not a criminal mind. It's a traumatized mind, most often.
Most often. Yeah, the main difference most often is luck and circumstance.
Absolutely. Yeah. So me learning and understanding the traumatized mind gives me a greater depth of understanding and empathy for somebody that is involved in our criminal justice system. So, yeah, the reality is, when you look at trauma, you can't think your way through it. You can't think your way into healing without the right language, right?
Exactly. And you don't know the language until you know the language.
Yeah.
Because the awareness that you guys talk about in the coaching has been key, really. It's instrumental in just being aware of not only what is going on up here, but why. Why connects to everything.
Yeah. I think I said it 14 times in our session yesterday.
Yeah.
Right? Like that is it. If you feel your way through it, which is the way through, I always say there's no over under, right? There's no getting around it. What we resist persists, right? I say that all the time.
Yes.
Because the reality is you got to sit in it. You have to feel your way through it. And ideally, you do that in a way where you have safety and support, right? Otherwise, that can be dangerous.
Yeah.
We always say it should be uncomfortable, right? There's discomfort, but there shouldn't be danger in it. And that's why I think what's cool, what we've built with the Hive is like we've created this system, this village, if you will, to allow you to do that in a way that keeps you connected, right? Because to us, connection is medicine. If trauma is the problem, connection is the solution.
Connection literally heals pathways. From what I read, neural pathways are created because of connection, and it kind of heals the damage in a way that trauma does to the nervous system and the brain.
Absolutely.
Which is so cool to me because I love science.
It's so cool. We could nerd out on a
we're
whole
not
episode on
nerding out.
We will nerd out at some point
and I will
all the time.
Smack the equipment on
That's
accident.
okay. We're all human here.
Yes, we flail.
So yeah, it's gonna happen. That's the cool thing with us is there's a level of humanness that is in there. It's there every time we go anywhere because it's what we do. Right?
It is.
It's what we do. Yeah, so this podcast, when we thought about it, was, okay, we do coaching, we do one-on-one stuff, we help people get connected to resources, we build community, right? We do these events and things, but not everybody gets tapped into that, right? And or is bought into that, because we also know, because we took a psych degree years ago, right? We know that Erik Erikson's stages of development says the first one is trust versus mistrust. And so the biggest thing that we have to do is build trust, because so often people with a traumatized mind, right, are stuck there.
Right. And it's trust in the systems that are in place, and knowing that not all systems are created equally. There are some systems that they're coming in like a wrecking ball and just changing things.
Absolutely.
And that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a really cool thing to just be a part of.
Yeah.
It's like a revolution in a way.
Our own little revolution.
Just
I like
a justice revolution.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, we deserve to have that.
Absolutely.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
That understanding.
And that's this podcast, right? And that's what our community is. But we hope that through this podcast, we're connecting a group of people that don't see themselves in that yet. Yeah. Right. But are going to sit here and listen to this podcast and be blown away at the language we're going to give you that is going to make you feel, right? It's going to make you feel seen and heard and understood in a way that I promise.
And it makes you cry. Like
we're going to cry. We're going to cry.
I'm already tearing as you're talking about it, because it's my own experience with walking in and being accepted in the way that I was accepted. Yeah. Regardless of how it was brought into it. Should
we do a little intro here? Should we let you introduce yourself?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Who the heck's Angela?
So I'm a nervous person. I'm excited. Let's see. I wrote some notes. I can't read them with tears in my eyes. Yeah, no, I didn't write anything about that.
Who the heck is Angela?
So basically, I'm learning. I'm going to learn with everyone that I don't know. I don't have all the language yet.
I don't know.
Because they're kind of, you learn and you practice. But I'm still learning a lot of the language part. I've just gone through my first experience with therapy earlier this year, which was hard. It was rewarding, and the Hive actually helped me find resources for that, because I couldn't find anything that took my insurance. So I was in this constant loop of researching and then giving up. Yeah.
So you're not alone in that.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're not alone in that.
Exactly. So I guess what I hope to bring, I'm a parent, I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, as are you, all of those things. Hopefully I'm bringing like the student side, if you will, like kind of more of I'm asking different questions that might, be similar questions to what maybe the viewers are watching. Sure. And so my hope is that my questions align with theirs, since I'm still kind of learning the process more officially. Yeah. Yeah. Can I add? Can I contribute to who Angela is? I'm going to blush. Yeah. So Angela she joined the Hive, and I would say, having done this for 10 years, working with over 3,000 people, a good sample size, right? Angela dove right on in, right? Which is cool, because the way that you were brought into the Hive and the way that you found roots here, I feel like, planted roots here, right? Yeah. I jumped in that dirt. Yeah. I was like, give me it. Dove in, right? And that's the thing here, is we dive in the dirt. We're in the dirt with you. Yes.
We are in the dirt with you. And I think that's what's really cool about Angela is that she joined us in the dirt. She shared her dirt with our dirt.
Yes, we
right?
mixed our soil.
We did. We mixed our soil, and we're creating like something is blooming from this, and it has so quickly for you. I feel like
it has, yeah. Because remember, one of my biggest panics in the beginning was, will I find purpose? Basically, and who'd have thunk that like there was purpose.
Right where you were?
Right in front of my face.
Yeah, in the dirt.
In the dirt. I was, oh man. It's like a different season of my life has started.
Yeah.
That was the series finale, or the season finale last season. I'm over it. We're in season 2 of adulthood.
And that happened quickly, yeah. And it doesn't for everybody. You know, we've been working for people for 5 years, and they haven't dug quite deep in the dirt enough. Right? They're not planted enough. And that's okay. And we're still here. Yeah. If you do dig into the dirt and you get deep in your own situation and feelings and experiences and just acknowledgement and awareness about where you've been, you will unfold into who you're meant to become.
Right. And having someone believe you without having to prove it was a huge thing too.
We give that out for free.
Yeah. That's invaluable.
Yeah.
Just having someone know that, you know, they're in the dirt enough with you that they can see it as plainly as you can.
So true. So this podcast is going to be
so fun.
Angela and I. It's going to be other people that have been in the dirt. Maybe people that are just starting to dip their toes, right? We're going to bring in people that are exploring with us, right? So it might be you if you're listening, right? It might be you coming in here and saying, let's have this conversation. Let's get real and let's peel back those onions, right?
Yeah,
the layers of the onion. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that here. So many of us were taught to disconnect because of our trauma, right? That is our brain and body's way of survival. So we disassociate, or we avoid, or we close in, we shut down, right? Those shadows create around the parts of us that we learned weren't acceptable.
Right.
And what this podcast is going to do is tell you that connection, exposure, right? In this safe way, this brave way, whether you're doing it internally or whether you're sharing with us or others, it's going to unravel a deeper truth about who you are. And the reality is, I just like to offer, is that you were never too much or too late or too broken, right? Too shameful.
Yeah.
Never, ever to begin again. What did I say the other day? I'm coaching a mom, and when she got where she is, she was drowning, right? She was drowning. And now she's learning to swim.
And that's
it. That's what this is.
It is. It's growing and swimming and blooming, and it's just being who you are at the core without the fear or the shame that comes with the voices that really aren't yours. Those things telling you you're doing something wrong, or you're too much, or you're not enough. Or you're less than. And to be able to unpack that with it just feels good.
So this first episode is a little different. We're just kind of pulling back the curtain on how we got here, right? How the Hive started, how we got to this podcast place. We'll move throughout this podcast. We'll move together through the foundations of attachment and safety and brain science and nervous system regulation and emotions and healing, right? Yes. It's juicy and dirty and it's so good. You're going to get messy.
I love it. I love it.
It's so good. So take a deep breath. Yeah. Get curious. That's the best thing you can do.
Yes. So, because if there was anything that's true about me, I've never allowed that curiosity factor to be stomped out of me. Hi, sir. You're getting really close to me here. Hi.
Let's jump in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So how are you going to warm us up in the beginning of each of the sods?
So I recognize that this content is hard. It's a lot. What did I say yesterday? It's going to hurt. It's going to bring out pain, right? In a lot of ways. And I hope it's going to nourish you.
Oh, it does.
It will. I promise you it will. I already know it. Right? But the reality is we all are approaching this with in different places, right? In different mindsets and different, we're at different parts of our own healing. So I'll give you different tools, right? To kind of do check-ins because it's so important, right? Discomfort, not danger, right? If at any point this becomes dangerous, I want you to seek help. We'll do, I'll give you one. We do a thermometer check-in. So it's a typical thermometer, right? Yeah, so it rises as you rise, right? As your temperature rises. Mm-hmm. So we do a temperature. We can relate that to the way that our body feels, right? I always give the kind of example that I think anybody can relate to, right? I'm getting angry. I'm hot. I'm sweaty, right? My heart's beating faster. These are all signs that my body is giving me to tell me, hey, red flag, we're rising. Not always a bad thing, right? But it's an awareness. And so our thermometer check-in does that. So I'd ask you, Angela, where do you feel like you're at on your thermometer?
Today.
Right now, really?
Right now.
I mean, it changes.
I mean, I feel like right now I'm pretty good. I'm like outwardly, I guess I'm nervous.
Sure.
I'm a little nervous because no matter how much proof I have that I am not unworthy of being a part of this, there's still those nerves that are just saying, who the hell do you think you are? It's been, now that I have different language and I know who's saying it or where it's coming from.
So good.
It's so much easier to be like, oh yeah, you go stand in the corner. That's not true.
Yeah, that's so good.
Because it's going to stay in the room with us regardless.
They're here. They're sitting over there.
It's never going to go. You have to just keep it in your peripherals, really, and keep the facts and what you know about you and what, that's where I'm at. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I don't know if that was an answer.
That's okay. So you're slightly elevated maybe in your thermostat, right? It's a little elevated.
I'm
but
twitchy.
It's
That's part of my thing too. Why I get warmer, of course.
Sure.
And then I get a little twitchier, and that's kind of where I am. But it's still kind of low. That's low.
Yeah.
On the thermometer.
And we're all different, right? That's cool because the awareness tells you, all right, there's something. There's something here. Your body's checking in with you like, is this safe or is this dangerous, right? Every single cue that comes in, your brain and body's like, safe, danger, right? And that's built by your experiences. So even though we are safe in here physically, right? And hopefully relationally and emotionally and psychologically, right? You could have an experience, right? That told you weren't enough. That told you who the hell are you? You don't belong there, right? And that's creating that. Yeah.
And it's there.
It's there.
And once I was able to say, like, I think that you get, as someone with a fair amount of trauma, you get stuck in the, I'm fine. Look at how good I'm doing. Like, I don't need...
You're trying to prove something.
Proving them wrong rather than, you don't even have to prove it. Like, you've already proved it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll offer you and everybody, right, as I said before, healing doesn't happen in our heads. It's going to happen in our bodies, in relationships, through connection over time, right? It's not going to happen. We might do 8 or 10 episodes. It's not going to happen in 8 or 10 episodes, right? But we're going to give you something that's going to launch you in that direction. And I want you to know we're not here to fix you. I'm not here to fix you, Angela.
No.
You ain't broken.
No, it's just my embers. They just needed a little fanning. And I hope to do the same for you, to help heat those embers and make sure that I'm promoting all the good thoughts that you know are true about yourself. And I feel like that's what community does, safe community does for each other. We refuse to allow you to forget how awesome you are. And so that in that sense, where's your thermometer?
My thermometer, it's like, this is so cool and we're actually doing it, which is super cool because I feel like we've been talking about it and just to be able to reach an audience that we haven't reached before. So my thermometer, I'm hot. I'm getting a little sweaty, right? But it's excitement, and I know that because I know that about my body, right? I'm not shaky, which to me would be more anxious. I'm excited. We have this word that we used when I did coaching, and it's skited, right? I'm scared and excited.
Oh, that's so
right?
true.
It's like there's a little anxiety in there. There's a little nerve-wracking, and there's so much excitement. So it can look like anxiety a little bit for me.
Absolutely.
But I know. I'm excited.
Yeah,
so I'm happy to be here.
Tell me about the origin.
So I'll give you the short version.
Short origin story.
Short origin with some stricken with feeling, okay? That's when I started the organization 10 years ago. It'll be 10 years in December. I was a sophomore in college. And I tell you at the time, I had my blinders on. I don't want to say I had my blinders on. That's how I was raised. That's what I knew.
Right.
I was raised here in Carroll County, here in Maryland. And I knew the people around me, right? I knew the community that I lived in, but I really didn't. All the other stuff was on TV, right?
Mm-hmm.
I always share the story that I didn't know that my middle school bus picked up at the family shelter until I was an adult working in this community. I didn't know that. And not that it mattered.
Right.
But the awareness of the diversity of people that were around me in experience and in, socioeconomic status and in family life, I had no idea.
Right.
And I see I remember those faces of the people that got on at that shelter. Most of them work in the community, in the field today, which is really cool. But it took me coming back and working, leaving and coming back to notice the pain and trauma that exists right here. So I went to Salisbury. I went to Salisbury University and got my undergrad degree in psychology and did a lot of volunteer work at the time. Mm-hmm. So much so that by my sophomore year, I started the organization. And it was purely out of the resources weren't there in the way that I would want them to be. And there was one family in particular. And for a whole year, it was just an organization serving one family.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and they know it, and they're cool, and we still work with them, and they're family, right?
Yeah.
They've had, the oldest daughters had babies, and, I've been to, the mom got remarried, I've been to weddings. It's super cool. And the girl, Jay, who is why I started this organization.
Right.
I hope you're listening. She bought me a clock when I got my first office. She was like 12 maybe, and she was like, oh my gosh, you haven't, an office? We did this, and you have to have a clock. So I have a clock that hangs in my office from her. But she's 17 now. Yeah, I started working with her when she was 8.
Oh my
and
gosh.
She's 17 now. She's doing awesome. Has her moments, right? She's got her road.
Oh, don't we all?
Yeah, but I've learned so much from her and her family and the families that I was connected through that Salisbury community. And the thing I realized so wholeheartedly was that trauma is painful and it does something to our inner worlds that nobody can see. It's a wound. I always say it's a hidden wound, right? It's something that doesn't always come with bruises. And there's not always criminality in it, right? It's not always that somebody gets put behind bars because they did you wrong. Right. It's when it's emotional or psychological, right?
Amen.
Or systemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when I graduated college, I said, I graduated a semester early. I'm going to go back home and see, does this exist? Is this just on TV and in Salisbury?
Right.
Do we have this back home? And so I went on this kind of 4 to 6 months journey of what does this look like in Carroll County?
Right.
Right. What does this look like? And I couldn't unsee it. Over the years, we've developed all kinds of programs, and it's always been, again, I didn't have the language in the beginning, but it's always been rooted in somebody's trauma. It's always been rooted in, that was what we kept coming back to. And it wasn't until probably after the pandemic, maybe sometime early 2021 to 23, right, that I realized I went to school for my doctorate in traumatology. Self-proclaimed traumatologist.
I love it. I'm like, Katie's mom. She's my friend who's a traumatologist.
Ever since you told me that, I was like, oh, I kind of like this.
Yes. Oh, well, that's,
Yeah. So I had the language, right? Now I had the language for what I saw, and I'm still learning, but I had the language. And I remember sitting at a conference one time, and we were in Washington County, and it was me and a whole bunch of other agency people, right? Social workers and educated professionals and all these people. And I remember sitting there and I was so painfully aware of the fact the people that needed to hear this were not sitting in the room, right? The families that were experiencing this, the educated professionals that have spent years in school learning about psychology and the brain. This is great, PD, love it. But the people that are like, what is wrong with me?
Yes. Oh my God. Can I tell you how many times before pre-Katie, PK, I was self-proclaimed running around saying, who am I? Like just as a joke. Yeah. But actually,
that's what you felt.
That's what I felt. I have no idea who I am. One day it's terrifying.
Yeah. And to be made to feel
so
like
mushy.
It's good. I love it. To be made to feel like there's something wrong with you when something happened to you.
And that starts normally at the trauma and just gets reinforced by the systems and everything else in place. Yeah.
When I do check-ins with my women in the jail, the most common on week 1 feeling that they check in with is I feel stuck. The awareness that I have in that is like, no wonder. Yeah. Because you're stuck in the trauma. You're stuck in the pain.
Of course you would be.
Right? Of course you feel stuck or numb to it, depending on how long you've been in there. So I sat in this room and I thought, I don't want to be among these people. Sure, I work in this field. I will sit among these people, right? They're my people, right? They are, but
they know same things.
Yeah, but I want to create this for the people that don't get access to this, right? And there's where we birthed this connection coaching program, which really is at the core of what we do. It's what we do that nobody does.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah. And it's funny because I've been doing this work for 10 years and I never would have said what I did was beautiful because it never felt like it was enough. And now that we have this program,
it's so beautiful.
It's so beautiful. It fills the gap.
It's a field of self-planted dirt flowers.
Yes.
You know? It's just not a field of dirt anymore. I mean, you've helped bloom so many flowers now.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. And just seeing a small glimpse that I get to see volunteering is humbling.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd love to hear your feedback, kind of watching this work in motion, especially more recently. We took Angela into prison with us.
I went to prison, and not for every reason that everyone thought I would one day. And I wasn't really sure what to expect. I knew it was going to be hard to see. I wasn't sure how I would be received because I used to be very good at masking. And the resounding advice I got was, be yourself. And when I was,
how beautiful was it?
That was so beautiful.
Angela made them all cry.
I did. And I cried with them. And I was like, apparently I'm just here to make you cry.
Yeah.
Hi. It creates that hope that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Knowing you guys are very educated in the world of what is changing for the better for people who are stuck, who are numb, and who are stuck in this system that just becomes this never-ending loop. And it's hope inspiring. It is.
Hope dealers.
We're hope dealers. Hope. Soul core.
Yeah.
Is that what they do? Should I not?
Oh, man.
Hopefully we are able to mix that laughter in.
Yes.
That's one of the things. Oh my gosh. You guys bring laughter, and like my face hurts after our coaching experiences. All the time I go home, I'm like, my cheeks.
Yeah.
I laughed. I cried. It was an hour and a half of healing.
This is the thing, though. We do a feelings check-in, and we'll do that, I'm sure, in many of these. We bring the feelings wheel, right? And I ask people how they feel, and usually the first session or a couple sessions, they say, I feel good. That's not a feeling.
No.
Right? There's 3,000 feelings, and good is not one of them.
No, ma'am.
Right? And what it does is it gives us language. It allows us to model expressing our emotions really, truly for other people. Right? If we're parents, it allows us to express that and model that for our kids, teach them, for our spouses or partners or family members or of anybody else in your life, right? It sets an example. And most people check in and say, what did I say yesterday? I felt overwhelmed and fulfilled, right? Yeah. That feels conflicting if you're not in tune with your feelings, right? Because being in tuned and feeling what seems outwardly to be conflicting feelings is life.
Yeah,
right?
It's not black and white.
It's not black and white. You can feel joy and sorrow at the same time if you can feel, right? If you can get down into your authentic feelings, right? If you're not masking, right? And so that's what I think is really cool is we help people. I mean, that's a simple thing. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. And so what we do, we are going to laugh and we are going to cry. We walked in the prison, we were laughing.
And crying.
And crying, right? And we're in an environment where people are looking at us like, why the hell are you laughing? Because we're experiencing life. And if it doesn't have joy, then what is it? So it's not that we dismiss somebody's pain, but we can hold both, right? And that's what we learn in this work. And I think that's an authenticity that we bring that not a lot of other places can do that. So, yeah, I mean, we don't just teach healing at the Hive, right? We live it with you.
Right. What is something that you teach, do you think, that you've seen me kind of grow within?
Yeah. One thing that stands out to me is, say it simply, connection over correction.
Yeah.
Right? Or connection before correction, right? In the world of parenting, there's a whole big stigma around gentle parenting right now. And I'm going to put a plug in that because we're not going to talk about that here.
No.
Right?
Yeah, no.
But what I want to talk about around that, right, is that what transformational parenting is, which is what we say, right, where we believe empowered parenting is, right, which is when you are attuned and empathetic, when you do our connection coaching program, you learn this, right, that it works for parenting, is that we have to connect with other people because there's a level of humanness, right? Which is why when you bump your mic, it's cool, right?
Yeah.
We're humans, right?
And I'm like,
Right? Yeah, but I know you're a human. And so I come to the table with a level of humanness that says, Angela's going to mess up.
yeah.
And guess what? I can hold space for that. And I can hold space that Katie's going to mess up too, right? I'm going to mess up, right?
The
and
connection
so,
with the self.
connection to self, right? We're going to talk about that a lot.
Ugh.
It's so hard.
It
And
starts there.
it does. And here's the thing with the connection over correction, right? Is it's that a lot of times when we have this power imbalance, right? Which is a lot of the way that we walk around the world, right? If Angela hit the microphone, I'm sorry, I'm using that.
Yeah,
right now,
that's
but
fine.
If Angela hit the microphone, right? And thudded in your ear, right?
I will do it. I'll edit it out.
She did it. Right. There's a certain language that I think a lot of us are born into that is like
Yeah.
panic,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to be in trouble, right?
Yeah.
No matter how old you are, there's
Yeah.
panic, right? And that's because correction came before connection. And so when we think about connection over correction, it's like, okay, we're human, right? We have feelings. Let's
That's a beautiful example.
share in that first,
I love that.
right? And then, right, the stigma around gentle parenting, in my opinion, the stigma around it says we are just let kids do whatever they want, right? But the reality is in transformational and empowered parenting, it says, no, we're going to come back and we're going to set the boundary, right?
Yeah.
Which is the correction.
Right.
I'm going to push Angela a little back further from her microphone.
Next time we'll pick a new mic setup for me because I keep just.
Right. But I'm not going to shame her first.
Right.
And that's what correction before connection does. So I know you shared in class yesterday that was something that really stood out to you. So I'd love your feedback in that.
Yeah, so my youngest and I, man, he is a feral beast. He's so cute, but he is very, I feel like he's just very secure in himself and I'm not, I don't know what that looks like. So a lot of the time it looks like being combative, and I would get stuck in this. No, I'm
Sure.
like, you have to listen to me. I'm your mom. Like, why wouldn't you listen to me?
Right.
And now we're saying, instead of that, I communicate with him and I say, honey, so when we're not listening, I feel tightness in my neck. Do you feel that? When you're getting frustrated, do you feel that? And that was us connecting over what it feels like to be frustrated. And then once he understood that, and he told me that he feels his frustration in his butt, which was a joke, but we were able to connect in that. And
play is woven into it.
Yes. And he listened and he applied that, not because I was telling him to, because I was showing him how to. The modeling is connection, and it really is. And the more I do, I mean, of course you reach resistance in the beginning.
Sure.
But once they know how good it feels to be connected truly, it's getting so much easier day after day.
So good.
And I just learned that, like, how long ago?
Yeah.
2 weeks? 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Right?
I don't know. I mean, and the difference is if you really apply it, and I'm not perfect.
Sure. None of us are.
Nope. If you really apply it, it works.
It works.
And I have people to practice it with and to encourage me and not to shame me when I make a mistake. Because I can't grow if I don't.
Absolutely. That's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
You're
that.
beautiful.
Yeah. So what is connection, right? I wrote this yesterday. I had to do some mind mapping, and I put trauma at the center because, right, that's what I've come to realize. And the prescription is connection. The prescription is connection. It's medicine. And there's a lot of research and scientific studies we could talk about how that's true. So, if you need that, let me know. I just want to tell you the way that I've seen it, right? Because to me, that matters more. And to me, connection it's connecting. You can say the word in the definition, can you? It's relating, right?
Yeah.
Connection is relating within your inner worlds. Right? There's so much I want to say about it, and we'll get into this, right? This is what we're going to unpack. It's a connection is relating in your inner worlds, and it's an awareness of the way that you feel, right? And the way that you think about connection. You can think about it just as if, are you connected to your own self, right? And without the awareness and language of what's happening in your nervous system and your brain and your emotions and what they're telling you, the reality is you're not connected to your inner world.
I am not.
And if you're not connected to your inner world, it makes it really hard to connect to other people.
Exactly.
And so we'll unpack more of what connection really means to me, right? And to this program. And that's what I want you to move into the next several episodes with an openness to.
Curiosity.
A curiosity for, right? Is starting out with a connection to yourself, right? Let's start to evaluate, how connected are you? Because I know before I started tapping into this, which was not that long ago, I've done this work for 10 years. It wasn't until about a year ago that I started to learn this language and to know that I was running through the motions. 95% of what we do is subconscious. It's patterns and habits. There's only 5% of what we're activating in our conscious. And I hope while you're listening, you're activating, right? Some of those, you're going to you're going to start to change that subconscious, those patterns and habits. You're going to be looking at them differently. And it wasn't until I sat and had the language for that I could say, yeah, I've been doing this work for 8 years. And here's why I have not been as successful as I could be. Yeah. And having the language now, I feel so burdened by it sometimes. Because it's heavy, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so good that I want everybody to have it immediately. Exactly. How do I siphon this into the universe?
This is one of those ways.
This is it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're coming up on the end here, right? And want to wrap up. And I just want you to know that
I like it. I like it. Class session.
This is our first time together. And I hope that you're listening and thinking like, I want more. Right? Because we only barely scratched the surface on what we're going to talk about in here. This was Angela and I just kind of going back and forth, right? We're going to segment this. Every week, we're going to have a couple talking points, right? A couple things that I want you to learn, to have language for, and then to be able to practice. Because it's nothing if you can't practice it.
You have to.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to bring on really cool people that we're learning all across the U.S., which is super cool.
Yeah.
That are going to come in here and are going to talk about their story and tell you and connect it to things that we're trying to teach you. Right. And there's going to be a lot of magic in that, I think.
To see their minds blow and the sitting with and that language, there's that connection in those people's minds are just going to explode right in front of you when you start explaining things. Regardless of how much they know, because there's nothing like this.
There's nothing like it.
It isn't.
That we call it the coaching container, right? When we do this, we're in a container together, and there's so much collective feeling in that, right? You feel anxious, and I feel that because we're collectively in this space together. Right? So when we have a guest here, and they're crying, we're going to join them. We're going to collectively feel what they feel because that's empathy, right? And there's so much artificial connection out there. Right, there's so much that looks like connection. We could talk about that. And in this container, it's going to be real and authentic, which I think is really cool. So I hope that we create a podcast that feels like, because I like to make people feel some kind of way first, right? That feels like you're sitting on the front porch talking to somebody, right? Next to that, drinking a glass of lemonade and just shooting shit, right?
Look at us.
So wherever you are, I want you to know you don't need to be perfect to heal, right?
So true.
Angela and I will both use our own experiences to make that very evident.
Yes, and there are many on both sides.
But you just need a place to start, right? And so I think language is so powerful, and that's, I think, one of the biggest things we're going to give you is language, and to hold space, right? For you to practice and feel what that language really means. So let's do it.
So important.
Moving from judgment to curiosity, because we see behaviors and we all see them. And I think this is going to be a really relatable episode because we all see behavior, right?
We do.
We see it every day. We judge it.
Yes.
We put labels on it. And part of the hive mind, if you will, right, is a curious mind. So let's talk about that next week.
I'm excited.
Moving from judgment to curiosity. And we're going to have a guest, right?
Think of all the technical difficulties.
Yay. A new challenge for Angela.
Yeah,
right?
No, it'll be fine. We're doing great.
So, yeah, I'm so glad everybody's here, right? Whoever that is. And I hope we get to meet you in person and get to experience this together. I know we've already talked about creating opportunities for that throughout the show. And we're learning, and I hope you're learning with us, right?
Yeah.
On both ends. So I just want to tell you, like, this is where we begin again, right? This is going to be where we take our first step. We're going to take a deep breath, right?
We're just going to start scooching down into that warm dirt together.
Yeah, let's go there.
I'm ready for it.
Yeah. So you made the first step. You're here. So let's do it again next week.
I'll see you next week.